Hey, I'm Mike Draper with AWC TV, and we're really happy that you decided to watch the video today. We're going to be talking again about marketing. We think it's very timely because all of you are sitting at home, and especially in the cold weather states, you're ready to ramp up, ready to get going in the spring. And we got Curt with ResponsiBid. He's going to join us today, and we're going to talk about how you put packages together and why it's so important. So I think Curt is there. Hey, Curt. Thank you for coming on board with us. We really appreciate you being a part of our magazine, and hope you're doing well.
Yeah, this is great. It's always fun to be with you, Mike.
Yeah, good. So a lot of guys this time of year, they're chomping at the bit. They're waiting for those 70-degree days to be upon them in the spring. They're wanting to think about how would they build their business, how are they going to present their business this year. And you've done a lot of phenomenal things with ResponsiBid, but not to be slighted here in any way or minimized is the fact that you built a window cleaning company. You were a window cleaner.
Yeah, absolutely.
So one of the things that you talk about a lot is offering customers choices, giving them through packages and just different pricing choices and things like that. Talk about that a little bit. Why is that so important?
Well, actually, it really goes back to what you were saying about me having my own window cleaning company. And we did window cleaning and pressure washing. And I found out through trial and error and then reading some books about some theory and stuff, I found out that if I went to my customer and gave them an ultimatum and said, here's a bid, they would either do it or they wouldn't do it. But when I tested the waters on saying, here's 3 options, which of these looks best for you? My close rate went up, but also my upsells went up. I had lots of customers who would say things like, oh, I didn't know you guys did pressure washing. As we're standing there, handing them the invoice, they've already booked the job and completed the work. They're paying for a window cleaning, and they go, oh, I wish I would have known you did pressure washing. Dang it, your windows are just fresh.
Yeah, your windows are clean now.
So we started offering packages, and one of them was window cleaning plus pressure washing. And oh my gosh, it just, all I can say is this, in a nutshell, I learned that I can make way more money with way less effort if I would just make that one little change, offer my customers a few options, and then ask them which one they wanted.
Yeah, that's interesting the way you term that too. You said, if I give them an ultimatum, and that's basically, here's my price, take it or leave it. And that's the ultimatum, isn't it, in business? And so by offering them some choices, it kind of lessens that, even lessens the pressure to the consumer, right? It isn't an ultimatum. It's not a, here, you're going to use me or you're not type of attitude.
Yeah, I do intentionally call it the ultimatum because for the longest time, like when I was early, like fresh out of college, starting my window cleaning company, I actually would just write it on the back of the card. I mean, it was literally an ultimatum. Like, you go to the car lot, and here's the car we sell in this color. Take it, And of course, people got to shop around. They got to feel, your psychology needs more than that. But we also did something called line item pricing, which would be, you go to QuickBooks and you go, windows cleaned inside and out this much, ladder work, screens, pressure wash the driveway, soft wash the house, and then we have a grand total at the bottom. And what I found was that line item pricing, in essence, it's sort of like ultimatum pricing because it has a grand total, but there's all this haggling inside. So I would hand someone an estimate and I would say, we can knock off something if we need to, or I thought I was being really, nice to show them all that. But the problem was by associating each service with a price individually, the common thing that I think all of us hear in those scenarios is, tell you what, throw the screens in for free, or throw the tracks in for free, or if you'll throw in that driveway, I'll do it all, And when I went to package pricing, that also disappeared overnight. So not only was I selling more driveway cleanings, but I was selling more driveway cleanings or house washes or whatever for full price. And that was critical.
Yeah. So I want to back you up just a minute. You went to college?
Yeah, I did.
And you started a window cleaning business? What the heck? I mean, how does that jive?
Okay, let's see if I can tell this in like 3 minutes or less. Get this. I'm getting ready to be a professional mountain biker. Like that's the road I'm on. And I'm working at a bike shop and I'm working towards those goals, but I figure that I don't want to be a stupid mountain biker, so I'm going to go to school and get smart. So I'm going to school, I get married, have my first kid, and I actually went to ASU's business college. It's called the W.P. Carey School of Business. I'm at the business college, and I decide, you know what? I have a baby. I have kids. This traveling stuff sucks, and it's not good for family. So I decided I was going to start a bike shop. So instead, I'm going to like carry millions of dollars of inventory and have like payment terms on all my suppliers and work every holiday and weekend. Like I don't know what I was thinking, but the point is that my daughter, who was like maybe 3 years old at the time, it was a Sunday, and she said, "Hey, Daddy, I know today is Sunday." And I said, "Wow, you're really smart. How'd you know that?" And she said, "Because on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you go away, and then on Sunday you come and see us." I'm like, whoa, 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 you know. So that's when I read a book called The Millionaire Mind, and it basically talks about how millionaires choose their vocation in life. And millionaires choose jobs that are low overhead that nobody else wants to do and that don't necessarily have notoriety. Now, most millionaires, you know, are famous and athletes and stuff like that, but actually the vast majority of millionaires out there, certainly the ones that keep it and their net worth is $1 million or more, they typically own junkyards or car washes or fireman is actually another really big one. But anyway, my wife and I talked about it, and I said, you know what? I graduated as a top graduating student in my class of the business college, and my wife looks at me and she's like, "We're going to be super rich, aren't we?" And I'm like, well, obviously I'm super smart, but then I got in the real world and found out I didn't know anything about business. Started my window cleaning company, and oh my gosh, that was the education right there.
Yeah, no doubt, and I would agree. I mean, me building mine too. That's all through the years. What the consumption and the education that you're getting when you're going through and you're failing and you're trying and failing and then making some success, and then I don't know how many times you fail. You're getting kicked back and then finally it all clicks in and it works. And I had people tell me too. They've seen me in like the last 3 or 4 years of business. And they're like, "Man, you got it made." And I'm like, "Man, you didn't see it. You didn't see it in the beginning where it was Monday through Saturday and sometimes Sundays too. So your kids was even saying, "Oh, it must be Sunday evening because that's the only time I see you." But, yeah, so awesome. That's a nice story. So yeah, I was just joking. Sometimes we get this stigma in our industry that the industry doesn't have educated people in it, and it certainly does.
I'll speak to that for a second. The first thing is that they say every overnight success comes after years of hard work, and I found that to be the case. Is that as soon as someone looks at you and goes, "Wow, you've really grown something. That's really blown up," dude. I didn't wake up and that happened. I worked my butt off and lived on rice and beans, and then And then the second thing is that I'll say this about window cleaning and pressure washing specifically, my experience. There is no other job that I can really think of, at least that I do now, that will allow me to put an earbud in and educate myself while I'm working. That was the most phenomenal part. We allowed all of our employees to always have one earbud in so you could still hear. But we had libraries of books and stuff. And I really missed that part, is that every day I was drinking from the fountain of knowledge. And yeah, window cleaners and pressure washers, they very often will tend to be some of the smartest people because they're learning all the time.
Yeah. Well, anybody that can go out in the world and figure out how to earn $1 and not rely on somebody else to produce it for them has a little bit of sharpness in and of itself.
That's true. That's true.
So let's get back to marketing just a little bit. So giving customers choices, giving them packages to choose from. How often did you find that, because a lot of people will say that, well, if you give them an option, the guy's always going to choose the lowest price.
Oh, no.
And, yeah, what's your experience with that?
Yeah, our experience is that the middle package is 70% of the time chosen. Most people, they don't want the lowest package, they don't want the highest package. They'll send themselves to the center if you give them 3 options. Recently in ResponsiBid, we actually released the ability to go up to 5 options. We're still kind of gathering data on that. But here's what I would tell people. When I first started ResponsiBid, I only knew my own world of 5-star window care. As I got to know more and more business owners, I found lots of people saying, we only offer top shelf. We're not going to offer this other garbage. And back in those days, I didn't really know how to respond to that because I was like, oh man, I must be bad because I'm offering lower packages. But actually, I've learned over the years, those people were really missing out, because here's the thing. If you really believe that the top shelf service you offer is worth the money, then when you contrast it against other packages, it will hold its salesmanship to it. So here's what I mean by that. Let's say that you're a window cleaner and you only offer in and out window cleanings with screen cleaning and protectant, track cleaning, cobweb removal, maybe even house wash on top of it. Maybe that's what you sell. Then I would tell you, put a package right next to it that your competitor is going to sell anyway. Go find out what your competitors are offering. Price it the same as your competitor or higher. I don't really particularly care. But then make another package on the other side that is way blown out. Like, find out how to be even more high-end. Glass sealant, hard water removal or guarantees, insurance, rain insurance. I still don't really care what you're putting on the other side of it. The point is that if you walk up to someone and you allow someone who wouldn't see the value in what you're offering at your top shelf, who is going to go with your competitor, and you're giving them a place to shop from you, you still win, because you're not selling on expectations that you're going to provide what you did before, but you're still getting that business. And you can still know that you're doing a job well done because you're giving the customer the happiness that they're looking for, the value proposition that they choose. And if you do sell more of the really, really high-end stuff, then you find out that there's been a huge hole that you've been missing this whole time when you thought you were offering top shelf. Your top package should only have about 10% close. Like if 10% of your work ends up being your highest package, that's about normal. But if you find that like 35 or 40 or 50% of your work's going to your highest package, you need to have another high package. You've got to have the golden version. And that's where you'll find out more about your market. That's where you'll find out more about what people want, and you'll make more money.
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing I think that it does as well, by having this package, if you are dealing with some sort of price shopper or something like that, if you throw out this $300 number, or they see this package and they're like, oh no, John Smith window cleaning, they were doing it for $225. You immediately can take them into a package, right? Oh, you're talking about our silver package. Oh yeah, we've got that package, but here it is. This is what you get in that package. So you just immediately place them wherever they're trying to go.
And okay, so that's all exactly right. I'll add one more thing to that then, is that if someone says, oh, they're cheaper, this is your opportunity to say, yeah, we do offer a package like our competitors, but here's the thing. You'll be missing out on these 3 items, or this big, unique, awesome thing, or whatever it is. And it gives you that opportunity to talk about your competition without talking specifically about your competition. Yeah, I know our competition really thrives on selling people this. It just makes we just don't love selling that package. You know what I mean? Because our company's special and we offer more. And there you go. That's your opportunity to allow the downsell, but to explain the upsell. And if you're saying, you want to be this happy, pay me this much. If you want to be a little less happy, you can pay us this much. Or if you want to be like socks blown off, pay us this much. When you attach the value proposition to the price instead of line items or an ultimatum, what happens is now you're getting into that emotional part of purchasing, which we all thrive in. I don't care how logical a person you are, you're still a person. And most purchase decisions, maybe not every single one, but most, are emotional at heart. And if you don't allow for a place for emotion to creep in, you're going to make the buying experience harder for your customer.
Yeah, that's awesome stuff, Curt. So talk to me a minute. We haven't really talked about the ResponsiBid program that you own and run, and how can ResponsiBid help with this very thing that we're talking about?
Well, it's right in the DNA of ResponsiBid. When I was first designing it, one of the reasons that I was pushed forward into building it was because I just wanted to have a web version of what I was doing in person. Then I realized that I was making a mistake by not just creating one entire system. But once I created the actual system, the DNA of it is every time someone asks for a bid, try and figure out a way to give them 3 options. If you can't think of 3, then can you think of 2, right? Like the best part is to not have an ultimatum. And then the idea is to understand the parts of the buying cycle. So ResponsiBid understands that there's the question and attaching portion. So the get to know you phase, building relationships of trust, helping your customers to be able to say, I'm giving you enough information that I reasonably believe you're going to be able to give me a really good, solid quote. And throughout that process is your opportunity for you to show as an expert, to start to gain a little bit of a relationship there. And then by the time you actually show them the value propositions, with how happy do you want to be, they're already sort of bonded and committed to you, which tire kickers aren't. That's how we know how tire kickers work, is that it's basically skip the relationship, just get me straight to a price. I don't even care if it's very close. That's sort of a normal phase. But if you can skip through that and get the relationship of trust, give the proposal, and then follow up afterward, ResponsiBid is designed to basically do those 3 things. Accurately get specifications, share your expertise and knowledge, get to the proposal where you share your unique selling propositions and value opportunity. And then if they don't make a decision in that moment, which of course we always want to make the path clear, and ResponsiBid does that as well, help people know how to move forward. Then you have that safety net of follow-up, which we're also bad at. I remember in my truck, I used to go out and I would grab my business card, write it on the back, hand it to the customer. You want to do it? Well, let me talk to my spouse. Okay, see you later. I'm off. And I never hear from them again. But if you automate your follow-up via emails, text messages, voicemail, calls, postcards, you build a string of ways to keep in touch with your customer, which is what ResponsiBid does, then we have found that your close rate will go up by at least 18%.
Wow.
Well, I shouldn't say at least. That's on average. Your close rate will go up by 18%. And if you use packages, you'll find that your average ticket price will go up by about 12% immediately.
Yeah, pretty significant numbers. Well, we really are happy that you came on board with us today. Give us just a little bit of nugget there on some marketing tips and some things that people can actually apply in their business. All of you viewers at home, make sure that you implement some of these things. Check out ResponsiBid. Curt Kempton, he's a great instructor as well. If you've got to see him at any of the live events throughout the country they're going on, pressure washing, window cleaning, whatever, check out his marketing material and his insight. He's a great instructor. We're going to challenge you guys on Facebook and YouTube. The first 5 people that respond in the comment section of our feed here that say, I am a ResponsiBid user. I am a ResponsiBid user. The first 5 of you, we've got ResponsiBid t-shirts and possibly some AWC t-shirts as well. So we want to see you. We want to see how many of you are ResponsiBid users, and so please comment there. Curt, we really appreciate you being on board with us today. It's always a pleasure. Keep on keeping on, and we'll talk to you soon. Stay tuned for our next episode of AWC TV by following us on YouTube, Facebook, or our website, awcmag.com.